Senator Summers.
Ms. Russell, walk me through, make sure we're on the same sheet here. Delta 8 is more of a hemp byproduct. This is a process of the cannabinoids through the hemp level of Delta 8. Delta 9 is more of your THC cannabinoid product that comes from the cannabis-based isomer by doing it that way, how they base it out.
Well, I would say, you know, what's complicating about this is that it's the same plant.
Well, hemp and marijuana is the same plant.
Yeah.
Right, you
And
pick them at different time, you get different levels of cannabis, and they have to remediate it down to get to 0.3%, which allows them to make the gummies or the
Right.
lozenges or whatever you have.
So you can take,
Right.
your,
And so what you're saying is, though, we definitely need 21 under, no question about that. And I just want to make sure that, people understand the difference in the hemp, because any of it can be remediated up or down
that's right.
to
I
get
agree
the
with you on
0.3.
that.
Georgia's the lowest, probably one of the lowest there is in these things. And hemp is legal in all 50 states. It's a legal process by the federal government. It's legal in all 50 states. That's the difference, if you will.
Our next speaker signed up he didn't sign up, but Senator Summers. Go ahead up there. Testify to us.
Just clarification, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Just,
Time to go.
isn't it true? All right.
I'm
Thank
happy
you.
to sit down, though, if
You
y'all are
do it, scoot while you can. You getting hungry? I got time for one more speaker because most of us are late to another appointment at 6. Dr. Raduca, you were the first to sign up. I'm sorry, are you going to be able to come back Thursday?
I'd rather get it in today, but I'll be here Thursday evening.
All right. How long are you, Greg?
5 minutes.
Okay, hit it.
Okay. I'm Dr. Greg Raduca. I'm a board member with Georgians for Responsible Marijuana Policy. And while I applaud the efforts to regulate Delta 9 THC, unless we're also regulating Delta 8 and Delta 10, we're really not solving the problem, especially because of the loophole that was created by the U.S. Farm Bill, which allows Delta 8 products to be sold at any THC level. So when you're dealing with Delta 8 or Delta 10 products, which all the bills currently before the House and the Senate do not regulate Delta 8 or Delta 10, you can be talking about THC levels of 50%, 60%. And Sheriff Gary Sisk at Catoosa County has tested a lot of these products, showing them to have very high THC levels. 18 states have passed Delta loophole laws. The Florida Senate recently passed their Delta 8 loophole fix unanimously. So what happens is that we're really talking about marijuana products. You've got hemp-derived marijuana, hemp-derived Delta 8, Delta 10. Delta 8 can be natural in the hemp plant, but there's not very much of it. Delta 8 can also be a synthetic cannabinoid, and that's where you really get into problems, because again, Delta 8 is unregulated. So anybody can really buy any percentage of THC Delta 8 product, and it's legal because of the loophole in the U.S. Farm Bill. So if Georgia acts like 18 other states have, we could fix that loophole and not sell these products to children. So, although it's the hemp industry, they're really manufacturing marijuana products. So I hope that people won't be distracted by just the word hemp, which sounds so harmless and innocuous. The hemp industry is using hemp-derived CBD to produce high THC Delta 8 and Delta 10 products. And the marketing, I'm so glad that marketing is included in this bill, because these are how some of the packages look. And you can obviously see that it's very attractive to children, as has been commented on previously. Lastly, I really would hope you would consider the weight of the product, not just talking about the dry weight, but if you talk about percentage only without talking about the weight of the product, it's somewhat meaningless. For example, if you have 10 milligrams per serving, say 10 milligrams per gummy, that's enough to get the adult user high, the new adult user high. If you have a package of 10 gummies, a 100 milligram package, then you're really going to get impaired, you're going to get stoned. And in Colorado, 1 out of every 3 person dies every 3 days from THC impairment while driving. So it's
Did you say dies?
right, right.
1 out of how many?
Every 3 days,
Okay.
on the average, every 3 days, a person in Colorado dies from THC impairment while driving. So it's just a very serious problem. So I hope that you would take a look at the Delta 8 loophole and fix it. You would be the heroes and heroines of hundreds and thousands of Georgia families. We hear more about the Delta 8 loophole than really any other issue. And we do have some packets for you, red and yellow packets.
Have you distributed those yet?
Yes.
If you hadn't, leave us a stack on this table and we'll get one.
They were brought in, I think Haley brought them in. I don't know if they've been actually been distributed yet.
We'll make sure to do that before any action's taken. Greg, thank you, and would you make a point to be available on Thursday morning?
Sure will.
Okay. Doctor, hey, I don't know your name, but I'm gonna let you talk real quick. Anybody wears their doctor coat in here, they get my attention.
Greetings, everyone. This is
Are you a doctor, or is it just cold
no.
outside?
My name is.
You got a lobbyist badge. Heck, you tricked us. Who are you, please?
How you doing? My name is Lance Robertson. I represent the Hemp Minority Alliance. Also, I am a CBD store owner. And for the last 4 years, I served as city councilman in the city of East Point, and just finished my term there in December.
Are you Baptist?
I am Baptist.
All right,
I
then.
am Baptist. I am Baptist.
Well,
It's been a long day for everybody. I just want to
Baptists have
thank.
loosened up. Mike, where are you, buddy? What the heck? Y'all got drinkers and druggers, all kind of people preaching in your church now. All right, I'm just cutting up because we're slap happy. We've been here so long. Go ahead, give us about a 3-minute expose, and we might.
Yeah, I'm here in support of my stakeholders here. There's a tribe of us here, but I'm here in reference to talk about Section 6, 149 to 159. You talk about the retail space of 1,000 feet from an educational area. I have 2 stores right now with a 5-year lease. Both of them are right near educational place. That's just a microcosm of the over 40% of CBD business and smoke shops that I know throughout Georgia that are somewhat in that particular area. Recently, the Georgia Municipal Association partnered with the Medical Cannabis Commission, and they wrote a book to guideline the local city council members how to modify the distance from 1,000 feet for pharmacies. So I wanted to put that to your attention that there's always ways around that. We should have this grandfathered for those existing businesses, I believe. So because there is some documentation right now in legislations in the municipalities from the Medical Cannabis Commission that tells you how to modify your distance that's in 1,000 feet. Also, in reference to the Section 6 of retail advertising, at the end of the day, when you're talking about advertising for children, I agree with you, but what you're showing us is bright colors. Bright colors attract anyone, so I don't know how you're really going to regulate bright colors, because that's what captures their eyes. It's not about any particular image, it's just the visual component, so it's kind of hard to regulate that. So I'm not sure what one is doing in that particular space. As it relates to the original language in Section 5, line 133 to 136, we did submit an amendment of the hemp products that's sold and distributed from the state unless that such product is packaged appropriately to ensure safety and compliance. Specifically, containers from hemp flower products must be opaque and designed to mitigate exposure from high temperatures. However, of course, the exception for hemp-infused beverages, which may be packaging in transparent containers. So we've submitted several different modifications and amendments. I want you to give us some serious consideration.
Who'd you submit those to?
All of you have them in your email. I've sent them to all of your assistants.
All right, if you get a chance,
For you, if you'd like it.
print them out and leave us a copy before you leave. Let's leave it there for now, okay? Thank you for being with me.
I sure will. Thank you so much for your time.
All right.
Okay.
Dr. Kirkpatrick, would you speak very briefly to your thoughts on the various deltas? I just know that you've spent a lot of time and energy working on it before we break up today, and you're going to be our last speaker. Representative Cannon, while she's doing that, before you leave, will you give me your cell phone number? You and I need to speak tomorrow so we can make sure we're on the same page, and I don't like to make any changes without discussing them with you. We might tweak your bill a little bit before we vote on Thursday. Okay, Senator.
Thank you,
have
Mr. Chair. As most of you on the committee know, I've been working on the Delta 8 loophole issue for a couple years now, and it's basically the same type of thing as Delta 9. And so I feel like the Ag Bill, which I'm in full support of, is incomplete if we don't rope in Delta 8 and Delta 10. The issue is that the FDA has punted this to Congress, and they haven't made an official ruling on it, which you know how that's going to work. Congress can't get anything done. The biggest concern is a lot of these products, especially Delta 8 and Delta 10, are marketed to children, and so the bill covers that, but I'd like for the bill to be more comprehensive because there's harm. There are kids going to the emergency room, and there have been several warning letters sent out by the FDA, even though they have not officially ruled on the legality of the product. So you do have an amendment that we can talk about later, but it does include the isomers and esters of Delta 9, which is basically Delta 8 and Delta 10. And that's pretty much all it does.
Do all of those, I don't even know how to use all y'all's medical terms, all those forms of the deltas get you high? I mean, do they have THC concentrations that can impair people?
Yes, they can be psychoactive.
Okay, depends on the amount, I presume.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Representative Cannon, what you got?
We have one person that drove up from Florida. If he could have 3 minutes, Mr. Chairman.
You got it. All right. Come on, Mr. Florida. Gators, chomp on us for a couple minutes here.
Thank you, Chairman and committee members. Do appreciate the opportunity to speak here today. My name is J.D. McCormick, and I'm the chairman of the American Healthy Alternatives Association. Our association has worked tirelessly here in the great state of Georgia and all of your neighboring states to regulate the industry in such a way that allows good actors in the industry to seek capital investments and allows them to compete in a well-regulated marketplace. I want to highlight that I spoke in favor of 2 other hemp regulatory bills that came through this committee because the industry understands that a small cohort of out-of-state bad actors can change the perception of what really has been a Georgia-grown industry. We have worked closely with the Georgia Department of Agriculture to address many of our concerns with the original version of this bill. The department has been incredibly gracious and has worked on many of our concepts and language that will regulate the industry, do away with bad actors, and give a roadmap to continue to invest and grow in their businesses. We would fully support that language being voted out of this committee today. Striking a balance between consumer protection and industry growth is our association's top priority. And working with states like Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, North and South Carolina, we believe that striking this balance is not only a possibility, but has been proven in many of those states and has produced a strong, well-regulated industry that is thriving. It is our hope that the language that leaves your committee today does just that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, for those listening, we plan to have one additional meeting. This is the only bill that's sort of dangling, but I have a new committee sub that has been prepared by Senator Lucas. That the subject matter is largely Medicaid expansion, and I promised him a hearing on that bill, and I intend to keep my promise. We're going to try to do that on Thursday morning. Mr. Pro Tem, we're going to need your help to make sure we don't gavel in until about noon or 1 o'clock on Thursday, because any bill to be on our Senate calendar before sine die, really we put ours on day 39, has to be out of committee before we gavel in on Thursday. We have this room reserved at 9 a.m. on Thursday morning, and I do not envision there would be any other subject matters on there other than perhaps conclusion of this bill or a committee sub for it. And the floor will be Senator Lucas's on the issue of Medicaid expansion. So I appreciate everybody's patience and time with us today as we're getting to the final lap or two here. Keep your energy up and keep your smiles on your faces. No, you don't need to. Thank you. We're adjourned.